We are here tonight on Weekend Update to discuss the writ of habeas corpus and the right to lawful imprisonment. Throughout the history of the United States of America, habeas corpus has been suspended many times. However, the most notable ones were when President Lincoln suspended habeas corpus in the Civil War and the suspension of habeas corpus during World War II under the Espionage Act. Many people agree with and disagree with the suspension of habeas corpus. Some people believe that it's necessary to waive some of our rights here in the United States of America so we can solidify the security and the strength of the United States. On the other hand, raging liberals believe that it's not ever appropriate to suspend habeas corpus, as it is a solid right of the American people and can never be tread upon.
Professor Mullins, I have to let you know I am partial to legal terms. The writ of habeas corpus. Give our students a good definition.
Well, the writ of habeas corpus, also known as the Great Writ, is a legal action that is basically demanding that a prisoner held by the government is brought before a judge so that judge can determine if that prisoner is being held illegally. You could consider the habeas corpus protection written to the original Constitution as a fundamental protection against illegal detention by the government.
Professor Obasan, the Great Writ has had some problems through the years. Historically, the Great Writ of habeas corpus hasn't always been, I guess, up and ready to go?
Well, I agree with you, Professor Falcon. It has not been applied evenly over the years. We have a few examples. Abe Lincoln did not allow it, during the Civil War. Japanese Americans were not entitled to it during World War II. And as we tape this, some of the prisoners in Gitmo are not entitled to it. So I don't know how absolute, we actually live with some of these freedoms.
Professor Mullins, there's obviously a lot more we can know about the writ of habeas corpus and its place in the Constitution. Can you help us out there?
Well, Professor Obasan is correct. The writ of habeas corpus actually is not absolute. It can be suspended. Article 1 of the Constitution provides for this in times of rebellion and times of invasion. However, we should point out that the Supreme Court did rule the suspension during the Civil War by Abraham Lincoln to be unconstitutional. And recently, the detainees at Guantanamo Bay actually do have the right to habeas corpus, and more than 200 writs of habeas corpus actually have been filed with the court.
And now, is there an underlying right or something that we should be...
For some more insight, we welcome our political correspondent, Stefan. Welcome, Stefan.
Hi, Brendan.
How you doing tonight?
Better.
Well, that's good to hear. So, tonight we're talking about habeas corpus. What are your thoughts on that?
Habeas corpus.
Yeah.
Well, it's this thing when, midgets take red, white, and blue bandanas and tied around their heads while on Times Square, and they just start singing the national anthem out loud.
Stefan, are you sure you know what habeas corpus is?
Oh, habeas corpus?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's like the prisoner thing, right?
Yeah, habeas corpus is when a prisoner is not allowed to be held without being charged for an extremely long period of time.
I know what that is.
Yeah? Have you ever been in prison before, Stefan?
Not this weekend.
No. Oh, well, that's good. So, as our political correspondent, we have you out in the field in different parts of the government of the United States researching things like this. So, what do you have for us on habeas corpus?
America's new hottest government agency is They have everything. A red, white, and blue cupcake dispenser. They have bunnies who don't know the Constitution by heart, bunnies that do know the Constitution by heart.
Oh, that's key.
A little guy who just runs around asking why you're here. A little Mexican man who keeps on giving you tacos even though you clearly don't want them.
What? This sounds like a nightmare.
What?
That sounds like a nightmare.
I spent 5.5 days there.
Well, I'm sorry, that must have been difficult for you.
It was amazing.
Well, I feel like you're not really understanding this topic here.
No, I do.
You do?
I love it. I love habeas corpus. My favorite.
Alright, well, I'm going to give you one last chance to add something relevant to this topic, and then I'm going to have to ask you to leave.
Okay.
Do you have anything you want to say, Stefan?
Well, this one time I was in St. Louis, and I was walking around, and this man with bacon just walked up and started slapping me around the ankles, and it hurt so much that I went down to the hospital. I talked to a doctor and asked them what I could do. They told me that I should go to the nearest...
The nearest what, Stefan?
What?
The nearest what? You started the sentence and didn't finish it.
Oh, God. This has happened before.
Well, that was Stefan, our political correspondent.